In this video, we want to explore Tableau Prep Builder, a tool for data cleaning and data preparation. You can define a flow here from importing data till have a clean output. First of all, you should connect to a data source. You can click on connect to data to connect to a data source, or you can click on this plus and you can see the options that you have to import to your data or connect to a server. As you can see, you can connect to a Tableau server, you can import Excel file, PDF file, text file. Because I have a dataset with a CSV format, I click on text file to select my dataset. It's a movie dataset, a collection of movies um, that has the following columns on the right. On the left side, you can see the data sets that you add to Tableau Prep Builder. You might have different data source and you want probably to have a joint data set and connect different data source to each other. You can do that by drag and drop here. You can join different kinds of data set to each other, or you can have a union of the data sets. On the right side, you can see your input, including setting, multiple files, data samples. On the right side, you can see the list of columns of your CSV file. Here you can define the data type of each column, and you can see a sample view of each sample values of each column and name of column, and you can rename the field name here as well. On the left side, you can see we have connection, the name of the text file that I imported, and you can see here we have field separator. It means that I can change the field separator if it is not separated by comma, or if the coding of text file is something rather than UTF-8, you can change it here as well, or the language, or if you have a data source that incrementally refreshed, you can check this option, enable incremental refresh, so that you can see the most recent data into your dataset. If you have multiple files in same folder with the same almost name, you can use a wildcard union here. For example, if I have multiple movie dataset messy files with CSV extensions, and they have same name but different number, for example, movie dataset messy 1, 2, 3, you can use a wildcard to separate those files from each other. For now, I have only one single table. If you have large amounts of data, you can limit your data to be shown to 1 million records, for example, or you can use all your data. Because my data is not large, I want to use all my data. And here you can see the options. If your data is large, Tableau can select random sample of data. uh, One of the advantages of Tableau Prep Builder is you can see the changes here. Whenever you change the column name, or you um, do any cleaning or preparation, you can see the changes here. And on the right side, we can see um, five main column along with a checkbox. A checkbox shows which column we want to see at the output. and you can see the type of each column. ABC means a string, um, sharp means number, and we have other types, and we have field name, original field name, if we change this column or not, and the sample values inside of this column. To start, I look over the columns, and I can change the field names. For example, if this is lowercase, I can change it to uppercase. For example, I want to change the director name as director name with a capital, for example, letter, duration of movie, grass, um, uh, sold for each movie, genres of movie. I can see movie title, um, produced year for the movie, the language of movie, and country that produced that movie, total budget spent by movie, and its IMDb score, the list of actors of that movie, and the number of Facebook likes. Um, these are the columns that we can see here. Based on the values, I can see this is a string, that's correct. Director name is string, duration is number, grass numbers, we have genres, that is a string as well. Movie title is string, year and number, language is string as well. We have budget and we have actors. So the data types are fine. Um, After that, we can add another level. Um, the next level can be shown here. We have cleaning step, we have aggregation step, pivot table, join, and the last step, as you can see, is output. So I want to clean my dataset, click on clean dataset, and I can see this view. In the cleaning step, we can see each column with its values here. And we can see the rows in the bottom. We can uh, review the table based on options that we have on the right side. For example, it um, can be tabular view, right? It can be columns view, and but we prefer to have column and rows at the same place. Um, we can see data type, we can see column name. If they are ordered, we can sort the values, and we have three dots here for more options for filtering, cleaning, grouping the values. And we have some options on top. We call this a step as movie, for example, cleaning steps. Um, Here we can see two recommendations by Prep Builder. Says that language change data role to city, country, change data role to country, or something like that. We can apply those recommendations, but um, let's go through each column and see what kind of cleaning we can do over that column. As you can see in the color, we have some null values. 11 rows of these columns are null. We have black and white one row, and we have color and color which seem to be same values. So we can simply change this color to capital C, and after that we should see only one value. In this way we can change the values of each column directly by clicking on that value. um, that seems fine. The next column that we can see here is director name. We can explore the data and we can see if we find anything wrong or incorrect in the data. Um, for example, we can see there are some null values, but those null values are expressed by NA or NaN. Using filter option, we can select those values. For example, this NA and NaN, and we can replace those value with null. And when we do that, we should not see those values in the column. Apart from that, there are other options that you have. For example, in the cleaning section, you can make all the values uppercase, lowercase. You can remove special letters, remove some numbers, for example, or punctuation, or you can trim spaces in this column, or every column you have that. Also, you can rename field, you can duplicate field to another field, and you have remove option as well. So this value, this column seems to be fine, and we have a space here or something that has nothing. So we can again right click on this value and merge it with null, and we can see this column is fine for now. Okay, the next column is duration of a movie. We can see some outliers here. For example, this minus 50 is wrong. Duration of movie cannot be minus 50. We can find this kind of outliers using sort option to see if we have some values. We can simply change it to 0. This is one of the things that we can do, or remove this record from the uh, data set. For now, we just replace the minus 50 with 0, and we can keep that record inside our dataset. The next column is gross. In gross, we can see this is currency column, and we don't see any outliers here. We have some null values. We can keep these 8 records, but we don't see any outliers or negative value in the data. We can see there is one movie with this amount, which is fine. Another column is genre. These genres, as you can see, we have multiple values for this genre. Um, for example, action, adventure, and drama. They are separated by vertical bar, as you can see. Um, and one of the things that we can do is split this column to several columns. For example, if we want to keep top 3 genres for each movie, we can split this column to 3 columns. There is an option here, split values, custom split, and we can use this vertical bar sign from first um, 3 fields we want to split. We do that, and we can see these 3 columns are here, and that column is split into three columns here. We call it, for example, genre 1. The next column we can call it genre 2, and the third column we can call it genre 3. In this way we have three genres, each one has uh, its own value, and we can remove that genres column by clicking on remove. We have movie title here. In movie title, uh, we don't see any special issues in movie titles. Um, we don't have any null values. In the year column, so we can see two numbers that have been entered incorrectly. For example, 202, it can be 2020 or it can be 2012. Um, Either we can remove those records or we can change it to 0 or null, and we can select both values and um, replace with null, so that we can see we don't have any values for that um, column. Alternatively, we can replace those value with 0 as well. Um, Regarding language column, we can see all the value of this column. Um, we have only one value for this column, which is English. So these kind of columns are useless. For that case, we just simply remove that column and mention in the metadata of this dataset that all the movies that we have is are English, are in English language. Regarding country, we can see the countries are from different. We can see different countries for movies. We can see USA with lowercase here. We have uppercase. We can change it to USA. But on the other side, we can see United States as well. So these two values should be merged to each other as well. So we can use filter values, and we can select these two and grouping these two column as one column. Alternatively, we can change this value directly here as well, so that those values can be um, merged to one values. Okay. So country is fine. Budget, again, we can sort the budget and we can see if we have any null values, if we have a negative values. Those are fine. We don't see anything special here. IMDA score. In IMDA score, surprisingly, we can see some negative values, which is definitely wrong. We can explore, for example, in the IMDb website to see that this special movie is uh, has been correctly pointed as minus 7.5. Probably it's 7.5 and has been entered wrongly 7.5. But alternatively, um, we can consider these two values as null values and replace those values as null, so that we don't have any negative values for those um, rows. In the next step, or then some other steps, um, we can remove those rows. Um, Another column is actors. For example, this actor column again is a one string, but they are separated by comma. So we can again split this column to three columns, and we can consider each split column as one actor. So we can use split values, automatic split, and we can see Tableau Prep Builder created three um, actors. Actor 1, for example, um, actor 2, and actor 3. Tableau Prep Builder used automatic um, automatic splitter to split uh, that string into three string values. They were separated by comma, so considered automatically uh, these three values as three columns. And now we can remove that actors column as well. We don't need this column. And the last column is movie Facebook likes. This is a numerical field. I don't see any problem here. It doesn't seem to be problematic. Um, Before creating the output file, I would like to create a calculated field, a new metric named gross over budget, so I can use these two columns to create a new calculated field. To create a calculated field, I can click on create calculated field. I call it gross over budget, um, and I use um, gross column and budget column because it looks good. I use a round function to just limit the digit numbers, the decimals, to 2 digits. um, I can use different kinds of functions here, and import those functions inside of my formula. For now, I just consider this as a calculated field. I save that, and when I do that, Tableau Prep Builder creates that column at the beginning of this list of column. I can see the list of values here. And now that I clean and prepared my dataset for visualization, I can create output. Before creating output, you can create aggregation tables, pivot tables. You can join this dataset to other datasets. You can union this dataset and merge this data to another dataset. You can write scripts and more functions for cleaning data, or you can directly use output to create an output um, as your cleaning data set. Uh, this calls view flow, so you can save this flow inside of your local machine, and it will be saved by hyper extension. This hyper extension file can be imported into your Tableau visualization. Alternatively, you can use CSV file if you want to save the output of your data set as CSV. You can run flow, and when you run the flow, it creates your output file as CSV.